Right then, here we go. It is L5 Star FC. Welcome back to another video. It is the end of a part of the season, a chunk of the season. It is the international break. Currently, Liverpool have just played an absolute thrilling match at Anfield. What a game it was. Liverpool 2, Manchester City 2. I have Salah to my side, but we're going to go over the game, what happened. But before we obviously get involved with that, I'm going to run you down through what happened. So the first half, we were absolutely poor. We'll get into that immediately. But then the second half Manchester City grew into the game. They played that first half so well. Second half, they come out flying as well. We come out with a little bit more fight. Goal by Mane with a brilliant individual play from Mo Salah. Then Foden got in on the act. Then you had Salah with a moment of magic at the Anfield Road end, and then De Bruyne equalised it later on to honours even. It was a draw at the end of the day, but we're going to be going over all that and more coming up to you today on L5 Star FC. And if you're not subscribed to L5 Star FC, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. For more content, we'll be keeping you up to date through this international break with a few discussions, live discussions, a bit of solo videos, transfer videos, contract, all breaking news. We'll have it covered with you. So get on that board, that L5 Star FC. So big up, Salah. How you obviously break down what was an entertaining game at Anfield, and obviously break down your overall thoughts. Are you happy with the result, or are you quite, sad it was a missed opportunity? What are your overall thoughts on what was a brilliant game at Anfield?
I think it was a very good game, to be honest. I think we were just unlucky, but I think first half we were so poor. I think City fans will look at that game and say, and they will be more hurt by the draw compared to us, because they should have wrapped that game up. It should have been 3-0 to them in the first half, because let's be honest, we were poor in that first half. Henderson, I don't know what he was doing. Our whole right side was static, and of course that was bad. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, it is a cause for concern, in my opinion, going forward. When you take into account what for Manchester City, it is a cause for concern, in my opinion, going forward. They should have wrapped that game off early. It was beyond contest if they had an out-and-out number 9. And it really does raise the question, if they had Harry Kane in their team, that would have been a done deal. End of contest, end of story. You get me? But the fact of the matter is, we dug deep to just let it through to halftime. I was so happy that it was halftime, and we'd come out all guns blazing second half. But obviously, Mane got that goal off the Salah to open the scoring. It was a brilliant goal. Salah did so well. And I must talk about Salah, because the performance from Mo Salah was absolutely incredible. Since João Cancelo, I felt he was quite quiet in the game. And since João Cancelo picked up that yellow card, there was just a trigger straight in his head. He was into everything. He was going, I'm going to do you. I'm going to run past you. I'm going to run rings around you. Whenever I get the ball, I'm going to go past you. But Salah, obviously, what do you think that from Manchester City's first half and not having that number 9, do you think it will really affect them going forward? Salah's just having technical difficulties. I will carry on. Pretty much. Look, Salah's just a phenomenal breed of fish. He's a phenomenal player, and it was unfortunate we couldn't get the win for Roger Hunt yesterday. But at the end of the day, I think looking at the first half and looking how we played, I think taking a draw in that situation is probably something that I'm happy with, because at the end of the day, you're getting a point, they're not getting 3 points, and you can kind of settle with that. But Salah, what are your overall thoughts, mate, on Mo Salah after what was a brilliant game for him yesterday?
He's such a good player, honestly. I think right now he's the best player in the world. He has to be, like, literally, he's outscoring everyone. He's got like 9 in his first 9. Like, it's amazing what he's doing. And the fact that there's a contract being discussed about, there should be no contract to discuss about. Throw 300K on the table and he'll sign. It's as simple as that. He's deserved it since he's the star of the club. He hasn't been bad. He saved us so many times. And that goal yesterday, my word, the way he dribbles past Bernardo, he sent Bernardo to row B. Bernardo was done. And the way he literally fake shot Laporte, that we're talking about Laporte, he's lost his respect. He's one of the best defenders in the league. the way he just slides the ball and the finish is magnificent, honestly. From that kind of angle, oh my God, like Salah is just amazing, man. Like he's such a good player. Like honestly, if he leaves, I'm gonna be totally heartbroken. I think I'll be more heartbroken than when Suarez left. Honestly, what a player. He's such a good player, honestly.
Such a good player, and it's also worth crediting that he was on his right foot as well. Absolute peach of a goal. But obviously, we'll break down the first half. Obviously, Liverpool looked on to be going on a tightrope. Do you think Milner got away with it in the first half? Obviously, there was a challenge on Foden. For me, I think the one that has been talked about the most that was on the edge of the area, I don't think that's a penalty. He runs across him. Look, it's slightly clumsy by James Milner, but does it warrant enough for does it warrant penalised action? I don't think it does. I think the fact of the matter is, Milner comes across him. Foden trips. If Milner did catch Foden ever so slightly, and the ever so slight contact did result in Foden tripping over. Yet you've got to take into account Foden got straight back up. So if he was worth the foul, he would have stayed on the floor. And I think if he would have stayed on the floor, he would have been given as a foul. But what are your thoughts on a few of Milner's challenges in the first half alone? We'll obviously talk about that one with Bernardo Silva in the second half. But that first half alone, I felt going forward before the game, I felt it was going to be very difficult for Milner because he always likes to just, the players he was playing up against, Grealish, Jesus and Foden, they all rotated at some point during the game. And they all like to invite players in to make that challenge. And James Milner is one player that doesn't pull any punches. So obviously, what was your assessment of his game? Do you think he got away with it in the first half? Obviously, he picked up that yellow card, but do you think he could have got sent off in the first half as well? Muted.
Fuck's sakes. I don't think he could have got sent off in the first half, but Foden was fucking like doing rings around him. Foden was too fast for him. He was too agile for him, hence why he got the yellow for pulling the shirt. The penalty, I think, again, Foden stayed up. He got up straight away. And, like, to be honest, although it sounds stupid, it sounds stupid that you have to fall on your 2 feet to get a pen instead of staying up. It's stupid as it sounds, but I think Foden was unlucky to not get a pen because I think that's a barge in the back. Maybe it was outside the box, maybe it was inside. I don't really know, to be honest. But I think first half, to be honest, I think everyone expected Milner to get a yellow card in the first half because Foden was way too quick and agile for him.
He was way too quick, and I think it was clumsy, but I didn't think it warranted a foul. I just think it was one of those coming together, which I think if that was in the middle of the pitch, I don't think it'd been given as a foul. But I think because the fact it was so close to the penalty area, that's why it's getting a lot of talking points on. But obviously, Foden, we must talk about Man City's performance today. I think Foden had a brilliant game. I think Grealish was awful yesterday. Obviously got subbed off, and then you have the likes of Bernardo Silva, who I thought had a very good game, very agile, and they have very good players that can cause a lot of problems. Diaz, I think, reinstated what a defender he is. Laporte, I think it was a quiet game from Laporte, but I think overall, I think the standout performance for City were the likes of Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden. Obviously, Foden got the goal. De Bruyne got the goal as well. How do you break our defence going down, Salah? Obviously, we've conceded quite a few goals towards the end of this period of the season before the international break. Is that a cause for concern going forward?
Yeah, I think although Matip was better than the game against Brentford, I think he was still not that good. I think passing wise he was good, but again, the space he left in behind, the space that he was giving wasn't good. And I think there was a thingy where, like, for De Bruyne's second goal, I think if he had not touched it, that goes into Alisson's hands. Again, you can't blame him for that. He's just trying to get the ball out, but again, it's still like quite annoying. But again, Matip didn't have the best of games. The defense didn't have the best of games. And I think the only one who you can't fault in the defense is Robertson. I think Robertson had an immense game alongside Mane, and that partnership, hopefully it starts getting back to rise because it started off against City, and now hopefully after the international break, it carries on because that partnership of Robertson and Mane is deadly. So yeah, I think again that's 6 goals. That's 5 goals conceded in 2 games. Not that good. So after the international break, we really have to pan up. It's either Gomez comes in for Matip or Konate comes in for Matip, because I think Matip hasn't been the best for the past 2 games.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously another talking point, obviously there was that last minute block by Rodri on the line at Fabinho. Should he have scored that goal? If you're asking me, I think the ball comes at him in incredible speed. And I think if he was to hit it first time, we can all talk hypotheticals, if, woulda, coulda. If he had hit that ball first time, I don't think he would have got the control on it. I think very few players pull that off with hitting that first time. But I think the touch on Fabinho was quite good. I think it was quite good. But I think it was just immense play from Rodri at the back. But obviously another talking point we must talk about is the Milner challenge. Personally, I think he should have got sent off after the one against Bernardo Silva. I think, long story short, if Milner wasn't on a yellow card by that point, he would have got a yellow card. But the fact he was on a yellow card, it was almost like a double jeopardy. And I think a lot of people saying, a lot of pundits saying, maybe it was the Anfield factor. I disagree. I think it was just a bad refereeing decision at the end of the day, and people saying, "Oh, the Anfield factor, this, that." The refs were influenced by the Anfield crowd. There is an element to that, but don't we see? Don't we see decisions like this week in, week out? Yes. So why are we seeing, people having a go at Anfield, and then you have people, Manchester City fans, having a go when 2 weeks ago Kyle Walker scraped not getting a red card or a penalty
It was a
against
red.
him.
It was a red against Southampton.
Yeah, that's right. But then with the crowd influencing that decision, so you really got to take into account. Milner, should he have been sent off? Yes, he should have been. It was definitely a second bookable offence. But was he influenced by Anfield? I don't think he was. I think it was just a bad refereeing decision. But obviously, before we get into player ratings, what was your thoughts on, obviously, the Rodri block and the Milner Bernardo Silva challenge?
I think the Rodri block. Wow, what a block! But it's so annoying. Like, oh,
You think he should have scored it?
it's mixed. It's because the way a lot of people, like on Instagram, you've seen it. Like, they've stopped at the time he gets his touch, and that's when the goal is gasp. Like, yeah, they stop it right there when he has his touch. It's only in the second picture where it's really clear. But I think just a smaller bit of elevation, and we would win that game. But again, in football, you're not gonna have everything go your way. So it was very, very unlucky. But again, he should be doing better. But he's not a type of guy to like get the ball at his feet and like expect to put it away. Like, again,
Yeah.
it's just very unlucky. But the Milner one, I have to say we were very, very lucky to escape a red card. I think that's definitely a yellow card. I think he shouldn't be putting his leg out like that, knowing that he's on a yellow. I think Klopp should have brought on Gomez for the second half, but again, uh, risk and the risk paid off, to be honest. But I think Guardiola has every right to like preach saying that should be yellow, but I don't think he has a right to blame it on saying the Liverpool crowd influenced this decision, because I don't think the crowds have a big influence on decisions, if I'm really honest. So I think Milner's one, he should have been sent off for second yellow, but again, we were unlucky. C were unlucky. It's just the way it is. That's how football is.
Yeah, facts 100%. Obviously, we'll take the point, moved on. I think the positive we've got to take from it is the fact that they're not getting 3 points. We're getting a point. We didn't get 3 points at the end of the day. But I think going off the first half and going off a lot of that game, I think we'll be satisfied taking a point at that. But there's also another side to the coin where maybe it's a missed opportunity. We've dropped 4 points at home to both our rivals, and maybe if we beat those two teams, the league could be out of sight in terms that we've got that boost delivered on both them teams. and we could be in a totally different position. But I think that just shows what this league's going to be like this year. It's going to be very tight. You're going to have to grind out every game because teams have the competition to do you over. But we're going to player ratings now, the final section of the video. What we're going to do is I'm going to go through the goalkeeper and the defence. I'll pass on to Salah. Then I'll go over the midfield. Salah will go over the midfield and a strike force. So we get through it quite quickly and you guys can get on with your day. So I'm going to go Alisson. Although he conceded 2, I think he had a very good day, shot stopper. He was stopping a lot of shots. Look, should he be conceding 2? No, but I'm going to give him a 6.5 out of 10. The back four, Robertson, a lot of people slandering Robertson, saying it was an average performance. I think it was a really good performance by Robbo. Showed hunger, tenacity, fight in every certain aspect. In that first half, I think he was one of the only players that looked up for it. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Matip, 8.5 out of 10. Van Dijk, 7 out of 10. Thought he was all right, but I think Matip was better on the day. And Milner, I thought it was a mixed bag. I think he was pressuring in the second half. Obviously, he was building up play to that second goal, but I think for the large part of the game, he was getting dominated, which is why I'd give him a 6 out of 10. Warner's obviously your defence ratings. Would you agree with a few? Would you contrast a few? Obviously, you alluded to before, you think Robertson had a very good game. What are your back 5 ratings?
I'm going to go Alisson 6.5. Made good stops. Also made a very good slot tackle. But again, just unlucky. You can see the 2 goals, not none of his fault. Milner, I'm going to go 5. Did a shift there, but it's just peak. He had Foden on minute. So yeah, 5. Map, I'm going to give a 6. He had that good game against Porto, but this game he dropped off. As I said, gave too much space. Van Dijk, I'm going to give a 7. Not a very convincing performance, to say the least, but again, he did concede 2 goals, so yeah. Robertson, I'm going to go 7.5. I think he was very good. And again, I said that relationship between Mane and Robertson is coming back. The overlapping, the awareness, the communication is slowly coming back, and he played very good. I think he was one of our best players yesterday. So 7.5 for Robertson.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Big up to you, Salah. Big ratings there. But we'll obviously move on to the midfield. The midfielder started the game for Fabinho, Henderson and Curtis Jones. Now, this is at the midfield, which I think didn't function as good as we were hoping. I think whenever you see Fabinho have an iffy game, I think you start to see that around the team. And I think for a large part of that game, I didn't feel he was that good, or he didn't implement that presence, which is probably why I'd give him a 5 out of 10. I think it was an average performance. Not the chance at the end doesn't impact my decision. I just felt that, I didn't think he offered as much. I felt that, it was very difficult for him to counteract that midfield. And I think that is why I'd give him a 5 out of 10. Curtis Jones, I felt it was a very difficult game for him, but got another assist. That was at 5 assists and 1 goal in a week. Absolutely immense by Curtis Jones. But it wasn't his best game, but I think he contributed. He got 6 out of 10 for me. And Henderson, bit of a mixed bag, like Curtis, like Fabinho. I think the positives that we can take from Hendo is that he shows that fight. He's not afraid to go in for a challenge. He's courageous, and he puts his body on the line for the club, which is what we love to see. So I think I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. But obviously, while Salah is sorting the settings out, I'm going to go on to my strike force. Sadio Mane, it just shows that if that left side's functioning, Mane's on fire. Mane is on fire if that left side's functioning. So I'm going to give him an 8.5. Jota, who started the game, obviously come off of Firmino towards the end. I think Jota had a decent game, a bit of a mixed bag. Still seeing glimmers from Jota, but still it's quite slow from Jota. I think he should have scored that chance early on in the second half. Personally, I think it was a very good shot, and it did rise the crowd 100%. There's no doubt about that. But I think his performance was probably worthy of 6.5. And Salah, there's no more superlatives that we can attach to this baller, man. He's insane, and hands down world class. He's the best player in the world at the moment. He's the best player in the world at the moment. There's no more. There is not a more complete version of Mo Salah we've seen in a Liverpool shirt. That's 9 goal involvements in 7 games, and I think 11 or 12 goal involvements in all competitions. The guy is insane. Salah, what are your midfield and striker ratings? Forward ratings.
Henderson, I'm going to go 4. Another poor performance. He really needs to pan up, man. Really needs to. Don't know if it's a bad on the form or what, but if I do not see improvement after the international break, he needs to be dropped for Thiago, Keita, or whoever, because he hasn't been up there. Let's be honest. Fabinho, I'm going to give a 5. I think he was okay. Wasn't the best. Again, we can talk about that missed chance, but again, unlucky, but wasn't his best games. Jones, I'm going to go 5 as well. He was okay, pressed when he needed to, but again, there was at times where he just lost his mark or he easily just lost the player. He didn't just put his foot out. So again, Jones a 5. The midfield really cost us this game. The midfield really let us down. Left winger Mane, I think he got the goal. What a good goal, good finish. Very, very, very good movement. And again, we're seeing that Robertson Mane partnership come back to life. I'm gonna give Mane at 8.5. Jota, it was a mid performance by Jota. I'm gonna give him a 6. I think he was okay. He got a few shots off, but again, not that like extraordinary. Salah, my word, beautiful, sexy. He's the only guy that can make me gay. Honestly, he's such a good player. I'm gonna give him a 10. Honestly, although we never won the game, that goal is worthy of a 10 rating. So good, honestly.
Yeah, big up to Salah, obviously coming in with the quality ratings there. And that is it for the L5 Star FC match reaction and player ratings. Guys, please hit that subscribe button if you are new. Make sure you smash that like button anyway if you did enjoy the content that you see. The real ones are here at the very end. Make sure you also check out my channel if you're still here. And guys, big up to you. Take care.